So I heard a statistic the other day which said something to the tune of 73% of women over the age of 40 will end up with a younger man. That was astounding to me. Now, I've been doing this for over a decade and helping over 6,000 women, probably plus by now, stop chasing love and attract it, and do that without having to be inauthentic and truly be within themselves. And I have seen this coming. And if you are an older woman and you really want to understand what is going on, then this is the video for you. Okay, if you're a younger woman and this is really getting on your nerves, is really pissing you off, I want you to stick around. Because
hey beautiful, thanks for watching. If you are looking to attract or deepen the kind of love that feels safe and lasting, click the first link in the description. It's a 30-day challenge to reset your love life.
Because I need you to understand that men are not chasing older women. Okay, let's start with the first thing that you need to understand. Men's sexuality is not like ours as a woman. Men don't discriminate with age, race, color, or creed. Okay, don't ever let a man tell you, oh, I don't like black girls, I don't like white girls, he's lying. He's lying. What he really means is he cannot access that woman. He cannot access that community, or that community doesn't choose him. Don't ever fall for a man saying, I don't like big girls. I don't like. That's what he likes. In fact, if he's really passionate about his I don't like, chances are that's exactly what he's into. That's exactly what he likes. And so a man is not going to look at Chengi at 48 and Jane at 28 and think, I prefer Jane just because Jane is age appropriate. He's gonna look at Chengi, he's gonna look at Jane, and whatever his eyes like, maybe it's Chengi's eyes or Chengi's behind or body or whatever, and is not as drawn to Jane. You know, he doesn't like Jane as much. He's not going to compute, but Jane is age appropriate. So my libido better turn from Chengi. He wants to sleep with Chengi at 48, 58, 68, whatever. He doesn't actually care how old I am. He cares about what his eyes like to see. And that works the other way around. It's not because you're older that a man is going to be after you. Men are not out here doing, right, I'm going to avoid a young, beautiful girl because I've got a thing for older women. Okay, that's not how it works. It's really about what he finds attractive, what his eyes like, what his fetishes are, what his desires are. But a long time ago, before the world evolved into what it is today, men would be ashamed to even own it. So it would happen behind closed doors. Number two, women my age were looking older. My mom at 48 looked like Auntie Jane. When I look at women that are even older than me, I'm looking at women that are 56, in their 50s, 60s. And some of them look younger than me. Some of these women been looking good. And so women, we have so much beauty technology now than ever before. We're able to preserve our looks. We now know how to biohack. We're spending way more time in the gym, especially as we get older, because we can. And so where beauty was usually just found in youth, it is now available in the older woman. And so a man who is younger, and I for sure have not dated anybody my age since I turned 40. They've all been considerably younger than me. But if you saw us walking together, you wouldn't know. It would not occur to you, oh, that woman is older than him, right? And these are men in their 30s. Not by choice, but when you get to 40, come talk to me, okay? I think now it's even happening to women who are in their 30s. These young men be chasing you down, okay? And so you work with what comes to you, because a feminine woman works with what is presented to her. Not what she would like, but what is presented to her. And so with that being the case, men can now actually just choose what they like. It's not about older or younger necessarily. It's about what his eyes like, what his body wants, what he desires. Once he can choose that and be seen with that, and it makes sense, even if she's slightly older looking, but he likes it and it's now socially acceptable. Nobody's really flinching when they see a younger man with an older woman, unless of course we know it's for passports. You know what I'm saying? That one's for passports. I was saying to a friend of mine, you know, there's a level of how much older I will go. I just can't be with a man that makes me look like I want a passport. You know what I'm saying? There's that older guy. You know what I mean? Okay. And of course, I don't need a passport, but you know what I'm trying to say. So that is number one. Number two, before it just was a sexual arrangement, you know, sleep with her and then move on. But now it's not. Now it's a life choice for a lot of younger men. Why? Because older women are a lot more grounded. We have learned, we've been through life, we've yelled, screamed, shouted, thrown things, had that crazy passion, ended us up being available on the dating market. So we've piped down, many of us, we're in our bodies, life experience, observation, knowledge. So we naturally create more peace for a man, because we really don't have the point to prove that we had to prove. We've got our own money now. We've built our own lives. We really have nothing left to prove here. Many of us we've walked down the aisle. We've had the kids. We've done it all. We really have nothing to prove to anybody. So we don't bring that baggage into the relationship. A younger woman still has these dreams to chase and this life to live and all of these things she wants to do. And, you know, we've done that. We've been there, done that. Okay. So what we actually have to offer a younger man is that wealth of experience, that calm, that rest, that peace, no drama. And I'm not saying that we're all this way. I'm just saying in general, the average older woman and the average younger woman, on average, the older woman is way more grounded. She doesn't need the guy to protect and provide and all of these things. She still desires it. She still wants that from a man. But he doesn't have to climb Mount Kilimanjaro to be able to make that possible. He simply has to be emotionally intelligent. And younger men are way more emotionally intelligent because they were raised in a feminist world where it's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to be emotionally intelligent and to connect with a woman and be yourself. And this is what older women are after. And so that synergy of understanding, we're after being just seen and having these conversations, and we're finding that value because we no longer need you to protect us, or we're not trying to have babies out here, okay? So that's that peace factor. I'm not talking about the toxic peace where they want to get away with nonsense. But also an older woman knows what she wants, what she will and will not tolerate. An older woman brings so much to the table in terms of that feminine energy, that grounded, embodied feminine energy that doesn't depend on a man to fulfill her. Whereas a younger woman is still seeking that Instagram shot, that fullness. And so younger men find more peace, more acceptance, more being wanted. It's really down to that being wanted, especially sexually. Like, you are here because I want you. I want you here. I want your energy here. You're not here because I'm trying to get married. I'm trying to have a family, so you'll do, right? He's just there because you want him there. And that feeling is amazing. And of course, some women get desperate and pay these men money. But a lot of men who are married to older women now, certainly in long-term relationships, are the providers. They pay the bills. They support. They actually hold it together. They just really want those intangibles from the older woman. And so another thing is, I know women who are in their mid-50s, 60s, who have a body count of 2, 5, 1. My generation, 70s babies and lower, we were raised to really respect our bodies. Like, sex was sacred. We don't just sleep around, baby. There's this feeling that no, my body is a temple. So we're not out here racking up a body count like an average 20-year-old. And so that's probably why we've been able to maintain our looks a little bit longer. So because we were not part of the hookup culture, we never participated in that. And so a lot of men will find that an older woman, while she may be more in her sexuality and in her confidence and knows what she likes and is coming into this awakening of her sexuality, she still hasn't been around. There's still an innocence in her. And I think that this is a really important key point. The innocence and purity that men will find in an older woman is just not there with a younger woman. The order, she keeps her house tidy and clean, and her life, she is in fact the epitome of womanhood, only because she carries that heritage, that upbringing, that self-preservingness, okay, that has been lost to a younger generation. This is why such a big amount, 73% is huge, of women over 40 will end up with men who are younger. These intangibles are things that sadly, as older women, we're trying to teach the younger women, but they don't want to hear because we old. Okay. And then they get upset because we are accessing the men that they want, but nobody is in competition. No one's in competition. I love teaching younger women how to get men that are age appropriate, that are amazing. My niece is in her 30s. I don't walk into the room competing with her. I'm trying to get every amazing man to talk to her, because I've been married. I've been there. It's not that much of a priority for me. I want that for her, but they will gravitate to what they like. And she was saying something really funny to me the other day. She was like telling her friends, she was like, I am the only niece I know who is competing with her auntie for the same types of men. Like, I am the only one. And her friends were like, yeah. And when she said competing, she was just joking. But what she meant was, I can I can be in the same space with her, albeit I am auntie. And I am very conscious of that. And I'll never try not to be. But she can't for sure know that a man is going to bypass me to talk to her. She can't for sure. And she's cool with it. She loves it. She thinks it's so cool. And she actually came to England to do a podcast that got lost, but we were talking about the exact same thing. And you know, she was saying even older men are looking good, and she's thinking, man, you're 40 something. Okay, you know, so she's just a cool girl. But this is the reality. Now, as older women, what I want to say to you is, you don't disqualify him. And you want to, I know, I can hear you saying, Chengi, so how young can I go? I had somebody in the comments on one of my videos say, if he's over 18, it's legal, right? I don't think it's about it being legal. I don't think it's about, I have clients who married guys who are younger than their firstborn kid, and they're happy, and they've been married forever, and they're just so happy, right? It's not about legal or not legal. Obviously, we're going to keep it legal, okay, people? But it's really about, who do you connect with richly and deeply? If you can sit with that guy and talk for hours, and you both feel safe and happy together, talking, being in each other's presence, and there's a deep attraction that is not coming from pure lust alone, then that relationship and that connection deserves to be explored for what it is. That is not to say it will not come with external factors that will impact the connection. That is to say that that relationship has been sent to you as a mirror and as a lesson, and potentially your forever person. And if you keep shutting it out because you don't want to be that girl, I've had, you know, because I've dated, I think the youngest guy I ever dated was 14 years younger. And I remember saying to my son when I met this other guy, I met somebody, and he's like, Mom, how young is he? Because he's done with me. So, Mom, how young is he? I was like, I can't say. He was like, oh no, Mom, please don't say he's in his 20s. I think he was 35. He's like, okay, I'll take that. And it's just a joke with the people that are closest to me, because they're like, okay, how young are we going? You know, because the numbers just keep getting lower. But it's not because I look for it. I'm just out here minding my own business, okay? But I have felt that pressure not to go too young. I felt that pressure to not entertain, but because I am who I am, and I'm very individualistic in that I am very much, I own my own heart, I own my own voice, I own my own choices. I've been able to choose for myself, but I understand that pressure. I understand the pressure. You know, I remember telling my sister, she's older than me, and she was like, I'm gonna pray that you meet a man within your age range. You know, for her it was like horrifying, but she's like a baby boomer and she's in her 60s. So for her it was like utterly horrifying. When I tell my best friend, she's like, well, all I see is a man and a woman talking, you know. She's like, so cool. And yes, sometimes I do have to sit down with myself and say, okay, this is getting out of hand, right? But I really, if a 60-year-old wants to talk to me and he's ready to do what he needs to do to be the man that I need, I do not discriminate, okay? I am not out here hunting down younger men. And I don't think older women should hunt down younger men. And I don't think women should hunt down anything, but we should definitely put our energy out in the world and see what comes to us naturally, what gravitates to us, and entertain that. I have an older woman friend who refuses to date men her age. She doesn't want to date men her age. She wants younger men. But I'm like, you got to look at what's coming for you, and what's coming for you are older, more distinguished men. That means that is what you're ready for right now in your life, and you need to be open to that. She's like, but I don't want an older guy, because she's so used to dating younger. So all of these things really matter when it comes to the older woman being more open-minded and open-hearted. Okay, yes, you're gonna have to deal with fertility stuff, and that's a conversation that you need to have because it's real and it will come into play at some point. So it's about really having honest conversations and being true to the both of you. To the younger woman, the older woman is not your enemy. She is who you can embody even as a younger woman. You can absolutely embody all of the essence that I'm talking about. You can embody the groundedness of the feminine. You can embody the mental acuity and the calm, and you can create financial freedom and comfort for yourself that allows you to sit in your feminine, so you don't need a man to provide that for you, even though you want it, and it works best when that happens because the older woman is still getting provided for, right? But you can create all of that in your youth. You can bring all of that to bear, and if you can get all of these qualities and embody them, because none of these qualities are exclusive to age. They're just the gifts you get as you get older, especially if you're working on yourself, especially when you have a mindset and mentality of working on yourself. Then these things come more rapidly, but they're like the gift of aging, right? But you can get those because none of them are attached to an age. They're things that at 25, 35, 30, 18, you can be the embodiment of that, and you would be perfect because you don't have to negotiate a fertility. You don't have to negotiate the issue of children unless of course there is a medical reason children are an issue. But all the things I've described in an older woman that a younger man is after, all of those things can be embodied by younger women. And I always say, as a younger woman, always have an older woman friend. Choose to be friends with a woman that's a decade or two older than you, because by being around her, you can capture the essence of who she is. I have always had female friends that are way older than me, or much older than me, or older than me. And they have always allowed me to tap into their groundedness, to tap into their wisdom, to tap into their perspective. There's a reason the Bible says older women teach younger men how to be in their marriage, younger women how to be in their marriages, because there is a wisdom and a perspective that I have as an older woman that a 25-year-old, 30-year-old, 30-something-year-old woman just does not have. As I approach 50 at 48, there's so much perspective, nuance, understanding I have just because I've been here longer. And a man won't give you that insight. A man won't give you that perspective because he can only see the world from himself, from the male perspective. But a woman can teach you, an older woman can teach a younger woman how to navigate around a man who can't even see himself. Because a lot of men feel like they see themselves, but a lot of men don't see themselves. They just experience themselves and share that experience with women. But an older woman can see and understand what he's experiencing and how that will impact a woman. There you have it. Older women, give the younger men a chance, and younger girls learn from the older women, and you won't ever have to worry about anything. There you go. I'll see you in my next video. If you would like to have a conversation with myself or my coaches, just go to the link in the description box right away and book a complimentary call, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hey beautiful, thanks for watching. If you are looking to attract or deepen the kind of love that feels safe and lasting, click the first link in the description. It's a 30-day challenge to reset your love life.